Naturally, they immediately decided that they had to touch the Roomba.
As we would.
Ashley, I mean, what's the worst it could do? Run over a sock?
Thank you for calling the Afterlife Hotline, your one-stop shop for all things spooky, weird, and possibly cursed. Press 1 for ghost stories that will ruin your sleep schedule. Press 2 for paranormal mysteries we definitely won't solve. Press 3 to speak to a demon. Just kidding, unless... If you're still here, congrats. You've officially ignored all the red flags. And now you're stuck with us. Hope you like bad jokes and spooky stuff. This is the Afterlife Hotline. Boo!
Hi, hello.
Hello.
I'm Denisha.
I'm Ashley.
And welcome back to the Afterlife Hotline.
Yes.
This is
episode
20. And our last episode of season 1.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Which means we'll be having some really cool things coming for season 2.
I'm really excited.
Me
I think it's
too.
going to be a lot of
We're
fun.
going to switch some stuff up.
Do a little switcheroo.
Yep. I'm very excited.
We're going to be talking ChatGPT and Reddit stories. However, before we jump into the spooky stuff, we wanted to take a moment for something really close to both of our hearts, our mental health. It's something we've both had our own journeys with, some dark chapters, some growth, and a whole lot of healing.
So that is why we're really proud to be ambassadors for Own Your Stigma, a mental health centered clothing brand that is all about ending shame and starting real, honest conversations. Whether you've been through it or are going through it or are just trying to support someone who is, your story matters.
You can use our code GHOSTLINE for 15% off on anything in their site. Again, that's GHOSTLINE for 15%. And hey, maybe we'll talk in a future episode and open up about our own experiences because ghosts aren't the only thing that haunt us. Also, side note, we are wearing
Merch from
our
them.
Own Your Stigma merch. So you have...
So mine is Coffee, Cats. Oh my God, too many chords. Coffee, Cats, and Mental Health, if you can read that.
And mine is I Feel All the Feels. And I will say it's a very soft shirt. And this is embroidered. I think yours is screen printed.
Yep.
But this is embroidered. It's very nice. And then we have Be Kind to Yourself, Be Kind to Your Mind hats.
Yes.
So they have
Very
really
excited
cute
about
stuff.
those. So this one is called The Haunted Keurig, aka the Caffeine Poltergeist.
You know, it's really funny.
Did you have one that was like that? This is the first one it gave me.
It was a Roomba, but I decided not to go with it.
I have a Roomba one too.
Okay.
ChatGPT has a type. Do you have the Roomba one?
Oh, God. I'm sure I can find it. I didn't put it in my thing.
Oh, okay.
but-
Okay. You'll have to help. Did you read through it?
No.
You'll have to. Okay, well. So get this. I have a friend named Janet. She just moved into one of those updated mid-century moderns that looks like it came straight off of Zillow's Haunted, but made it a chic playlist.
All right.
New floors, cute tile, slightly cursed attic, you know, the usual. Everything was going great until the Keurig started acting possessed. It started slow. Every morning, same time, 3:33 a.m., the machine would turn on by itself, no one touching it. It would hiss, gurgle, and spit out a full cup of nothing. Just vibes and steam. Naturally, Janet unplugged it because she's not dumb. And the next night at 3:30 a.m., unplugged, still brewed, like it was ghost coding itself to make phantom espresso shots. So she calls me because, quote, you do spooky stuff, right? And I'm like, I mean, yeah, I have a crystal collection and I saged a Taco Bell once, so sure. Taco Bells need some extra saging. I show up with a smudge stick, a knockoff EMF reader I got from Etsy, and a Spotify playlist called Vibes for Banishing Entities. We sit and we wait. We need a playlist that's called Vibes for Banishing Entities.
Listen.
She said, listen.
I will set that up and I will send it to you, make you a collaborator so we can add.
Yes.
And then we can maybe link it in this episode.
Hell yeah. And boom, 3:33 a.m. hits. The Keurig powers on, completely unplugged, and steam comes out what I swear looked like the words help me in fog, which is real bold for a ghost using pod-based coffee. So we do some digging and find out the house was once owned by a man named Ronald, who tragically choked on a biscotti in 1996 during a date night with a woman he met at Barnes & Noble Poetry Slam. Apparently, Ronald never crossed over because he was committed to perfecting his morning brew. That's commitment.
So we've got morning brew, and then
That was me on the table.
Oh, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Morning brew, and then possessed spaghetti pot, meatballs.
And then the possessed vending machine of Gerald.
And then hot tub.
And then hot tub. Yep.
All right, we're just getting a collection.
So, we left an offering, a venti Starbucks cold brew, a biscotti, and an Apple Music playlist of smooth jazz. No more Keurig hauntings. Although, now Janet's smart fridge keeps ordering oat milk at 2:22 a.m. and asking for Ronnie's cold foam special. We're ignoring it. That's a future us problem.
Oh my God. All three of my stories are us because I'm just obsessed with doing that. The Afterlife Hotline presents The Sugar House on Sycamore Lane.
Ooh.
And I want to see if you can maybe think of what I did to get this story. Okay? Because it's something we both are a fan of. Every Wednesday night evening, without fail, the book club meets at Miss Verna.
Oh, I already know. Is it from the like the pancake house and that?
No.
What?
No.
Okay, keep reading.
The book club meets at Miss Verna Lou's front porch. It was the kind of porch that had seen generations of sweet tea, gossip, and occasional cussing when the humidity hits triple digits. Ashley and Denisha had joined out of boredom mostly.
Oh, Southerners. Mm-hmm. Got it.
Paranormal podcast didn't pay the bills.
Damn.
And between the two of them, they had read enough horror to know that if something weird was going to happen, it would start in a place like this.
Oh, shit.
You think this club is just a bunch of bored housewives? Ashley whispered one night, fanning herself with the paperback they were assigned. Gone with the Wind. Again. No, Denisha replied, eyes scanning the other members. I think it's a cover. No one's that into Scarlett O'Hara. The problem, or the beginning of it, depending on how you count your curses, started when she moved in.
Uh-oh.
Mrs. Lillian Rose Du Bois. Blonde, elegant, and so soft-spoken, you leaned in just to hear her pronounce pecan pie. She brought lemon bars to her first meeting. Said her grandmother passed the recipe down through generations, just for neighbors like y'all. And yet, despite the powdery, sugared smiles and her flawless accent, Ashley's hackles rose the moment she met her. I don't trust anyone who doesn't sweat in the South, she muttered afterward, swiping a napkin across her own forehead.
Is that the truth?
You think she's a vampire? Denisha asked, trying to sound like she was kidding. But the question hung heavy between them. Because the next morning, Miss Verna Lou didn't show up for her walk. Or the next day. And her dog, always barking, always yapping, was silent. Then it happened again and again. First Miss Verna Lou, then the nosy Mr. Crenshaw, who everyone said drank bourbon for breakfast and spied through his blinds by noon. And then when little Callie Harris's mom, who never missed the church potluck, suddenly got sick and left town overnight, Denisha pulled out the big guns, their weird shit notebook from the podcast days. Ashley flipped to a fresh page and scrawled at the top, Sugar House Suspect. Also, I see now why you thought it might have been the... Yeah, because it's very sugary, sweet. She's, in that regard, she's referring to the pancake house, strawberry pancake house. I couldn't think of the fucking name.
Pancake house.
We're not going to talk about it.
You've read most of them, though, haven't you?
Yeah.
Did you read the Strawberry Pancake House yet?
No, I haven't. I need to pick it up for a moment. I originally wasn't going to get it because I was like, the main character isn't my vibe. But I've started the series. I have to complete the series. It started with the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, by the way. And if you want spicy Hallmark, that's your book.
I'll put it up here so you know what it is.
They began their investigation the only way they knew how, pretending it was just a podcast bit. They interviewed the neighbors, baked some welcome muffins for Mrs. Dubois, and sneaked glances at her medicine cabinet while she fetched fresh lemonade. They compared her guest bathroom to a surgical site. No dust, no toothpaste cap, no nothing. It was like she didn't even live there. She just posed there. Things got worse when they found her cookbook. It wasn't hidden, just slipped between Pride and Prejudice and the Joy of Cooking on her immaculate bookshelf.
That's suspicious.
The cover was hand-stitched, cracked with age. Inside, written in faded ink and red smears that neither of them wanted to examine too closely, were recipes like preserved youth custard, heart-strong gumbo, sweet soul syrup. tell me I'm crazy, Ashley whispered, holding 2 fingers like it might bite her.
Oh, I did.
You're not crazy, Denisha said. You're Southern, and we know what evil smells like, and it smells like butter and lies. So they did what any reasonable best friends with a podcast and a penchant for chaos would do. They broke in.
Oh, shit.
Midnight flashlights, black hoodies over sundresses. Okay, I don't wear dresses.
We would have leggings. Let's be real.
Inside the sugar house, because that's what they call it now, they found the cold room. Past the hidden door behind the pantry, past the rows of antique preservatives, lay the truth. Glass jars full of names, floating in viscous amber liquid, each labeled in looping cursive. Verna Lou, Callie's mama, even Crenshaw. Holy shit, Denisha breathed. She's bottling souls. Ashley gagged. I told you I didn't trust her damn lemon bars. They didn't run. They didn't scream. They recorded. The next episode of the Afterlife Hotline was an emergency special, coded and dramatic. It went viral within hours. By sunrise, the sugar house was surrounded, not by cops, but by listeners.
Oh, God.
Women with hair curlers and rolling pins, teen girls with their phones and crosses, and they weren't afraid of vampires, not in Charleston, not anymore.
Oh, my God.
When Mrs. Dubois tried to charm her way through the crowd, Ashley stepped forward, shotgun in hand. Ma'am, she said sweetly, I've read enough books to know your type, and you don't sip us like sweet tea. Denisha found her voice, soft but steely. This neighborhood bites back. They never found out exactly what she was. The jars disappeared and so did she. But every now and again, when the porch lights flicker and the lemon bars smell too sweet, Ashley and Denisha remind each other, always trust your gut and never trust a woman who doesn't sweat.
Well, damn. Shit, we ran her out of town.
You're damn right we did.
Can't trust your damn lemon bars, woman. So this one is called Disney After Dark.
Oh, God.
The Haunted Mousecapade.
Okay.
So, let's talk about that one time Ashley and Denisha snuck into Disney World after dark. Now, before y'all start judging, this wasn't some reckless midnight B&E situation. No. It was a legit ghost hunting invitation. They were invited by a Disney cast member who shall remain unnamed. She's 100% still employed and not trying to get banished from Mickey himself. She said, y'all, weird stuff happens after midnight. Costumes move on their own, animatronics laugh when they're unplugged, and don't even look at It's a Small World dolls after 3 a.m. They
Wouldn't
know.
want to anyway.
No. So obviously, Ashley and Denisha packed up their EMF detector, some glow sticks, and a backpack full of caffeinated snacks and said, let's go piss off Walt.
I'd be wearing Mickey ears. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. So, 11:48 p.m., Main Street. They arrive. Everything looks normal, except there's no music, just eerie silence, and the sound of one single balloon slowly bouncing down the sidewalk. Ashley tries to lighten the mood. Maybe it's just a leftover party ghost, like Casper meets Club 33. Denisha, if a churro floats by, I'm leaving. I told Will earlier when I was reading this, I said, nah, she'd be like, give me that churro. It's 12:13 a.m. Haunted Mansion. This was their first investigation stop because, duh. As they walk in, the ride system is off. The doom buggies are parked, but the ghost host voice starts playing anyway. There's always my way out. Ashley, did you hear that? Denisha, yeah, my soul just tried to evacuate through my ears. Then they hear the sound of footsteps. Not a cast member footsteps, they're slow, echoing, like heavy boots, like pirate boots. Ashley peeks around a corner and swears she sees a glowing eye patch. Denisha's already halfway to the exit screaming, nope, not today, haunted Johnny Depp.
Disagree. I'd be like, hello, haunted Johnny Depp.
Yeah. 12:52 a.m. It's a Small World. Against all logic and warnings, they head towards It's a Small World. The lights are off, rides shut down, but as soon as they step near the entrance, the dolls start singing. No music, just creepy a cappella whispers in 37 languages. Then, one of the dolls, Swedish-looking, pigtails and all, turns its head 180 degrees and stares at them. Dead silence. Ashley, Denisha, that doll just rotated like a damn owl on Red Bull. Denisha, I'm not even religious, but I'm about to speak in tongues. They run. 1:33 a.m. Cinderella's castle. They figure they'll get some cute B-roll before leaving and maybe recover from the trauma with a castle selfie. Except the lights flicker on, and in the highest tower window is a silhouette. A woman. in a ball gown, hair in a bun, face absolutely not human. Ashley zooms in with her phone. She looks like Cinderella if she lived in the upside down. Suddenly, her phone goes black. Won't turn on. Denisha's watch resets to 0000. All they hear is a faint giggle and the sound of glass shattering, like a slipper breaking. They sprint. They don't stop until they're back at the parking lot covered in churro dust and shame. Later that night, Ashley's phone randomly turns back on. One photo in her camera roll, one she didn't take. It's them, standing in front of the castle, and behind them, Cinderella, smiling, holding her shoe, and in the reflection of the glass slipper, a mouse, wearing red shorts with glowing white eyes. Ba-dum-bum.
First of all, I would not go to It's a Small World if we were doing a ghost investigation.
I freaking hated that ride. Sorry for anybody who likes that ride.
Okay,
I did not like it.
If we were doing Magic Kingdom and we were going to do a ghost investigation.
Tower of Terror.
Ooh, yeah.
Haunted Mansion, Tower of Terror. Where else?
Peter Pan, I feel like, because I feel like...
That's a kind of... They're kind of creepy.
Speaking of which, in the castle, there is a room. There is a bedroom.
Yeah, because can't you pay like buku's amount of money and stay
you
up there?
can't pay. It is like an invite-only type thing.
Oh, it's probably like Make-A-Wish type
I think
stuff.
so. Also, for the record, we both know people who work at Disney, and this is a false story, made up. ChatGPT generated it.
Oh, yeah, this isn't
So
real.
we did not go
Not
investigate. Well, my next one is going to be Dead Air in Dogtown.
Ooh.
Location, Dogtown, North Little Rock, Arkansas.
Oh, shit. Is this real?
Yes. Press 1 for ghost stories. Press 2 for curses. Press 3 for if something is breathing behind you. The jingle played cheerily as the Afterlife Hotline kicked off its newest episode, but this time you were live and in the field. Mic strapped, spirit box buzzing in one of Arkansas's most haunted corners, Dogtown. Okay, you said, voice low. We're standing in front of the old Burns Hollow Asylum. It's not on Google Maps anymore, Ashley chimed in, flipping her EMF reader. According to locals, it's still there if you know where to look. According to a very sketchy Reddit thread, the asylum was shut down in the 50s after a patient allegedly set the West Wing on fire. Dang. No one knows how many died. The state tried to bury it, literally and figuratively.
Oh, man.
The pair of you stepped through the broken fence. The building rose before you, strangled by vines and time.
I'm assuming that's a plant.
I think so, too.
Okay, cool.
Your flashlight flickered. Ashley muttered, "Cool, that's not ominous." Inside, the temperature dropped immediately. You clicked on the EVP recorder. "Is anyone here with us?" you asked. Static. Then a faint click. "That's Morse code," Ashley said, squinting at the tiny screen. "Did it just say, stay?" you whispered. You explored deeper. Cracked tile, rusted gurneys, a peeling mural of children's face on the wall with red paint smeared across it, and a smile. Or maybe it wasn't paint. In what used to be the electroshock room, your spirit box screamed. "Hello?" You and Ashley froze, and then it came again, louder. "Hello, Denisha!" Your blood ran cold. Did it just say my name?
Yeah, it did.
Ashley nodded, eyes wide. It's time to go. You turned to leave, but the door was gone. Literally, it just vanished. Where it had been now was smooth concrete wall. Your equipment buzzed erratically. The air thickened like smoke. And then a phone rang. You both turned the corner. Rotary phone, grime covered and disconnected, sat on a desk. It rang again. You picked it up. "This is the Afterlife Hotline," you said, your voice trembling. "Who's calling?" A child's voice answered.
"You shouldn't have come here."
Click. When you awoke, it was dawn. You were both laying outside the asylum, gear scattered at the entrance, completely overgrown again. No door, no windows, just wall. Your recordings, corrupted, except for one file, a short audio clip, a faint whispering voice. "We're still listening."
No. I don't like it. No, it's even creepier now with these headphones because you can definitely hear.
"We're still listening.
We're still listening.
We're gonna get you. And your little dog, too."
So, if one vending machine ghost wasn't enough,
Oh, no. Do we have another?
we now have another.
Does this one have a name?
I'm sure it does.
Because you know what I'm thinking?
What?
We make merch with vending machine ghosts.
Yes. Oh, this is the only reason why I kept this one.
Oh,
okay.
no. Okay.
You'll learn. Okay. It's called the Snackerfice. Exercising the vending machine from hell.
I don't like this.
It started at the library. Ashley and Denisha were just trying to have a chill research day. Nothing wild, just some solid cryptid Googling and maybe a latte. But as soon as they walked past the break room, they felt it. The vibe. You know the one? That something in here is off, and I might spontaneously burst into Latin kind of vibe.
Exotamos.
And then they saw it. The vending machine. Row E4 was blinking over and over, and nothing was in E4. Ashley. Okay, maybe it's just broken? Denisha. Or maybe a demon is trying to sell us expired fruit snacks? Ashley, of course, had to test it. She put in $1, pushed E4. Nothing happened. The lights dimmed, and a single plastic bag of bugles launched out of the machine so hard it hit her in the forehead. Denisha. Oh, it's hostile. Ashley. Did this thing just throw a snack at me? They grabbed their EMF reader, which instantly spiked when they held near the machine. Ashley whispered, "This thing's giving off more energy than a middle school cafeteria fight." They tried talking to it. Ashley. Is there a spirit here? The machine groaned. Denisha. What's your name? The keypad lit up to spell C-H-A-D. Chad. Ashley. We're being haunted by a Chad?
This is why you put this in here?
I didn't give it a name. It gave itself a name. They Googled how to exercise haunted vending machines. No helpful results, but someone on Reddit said try offering it a sacrifice of hot Cheetos and a Capri Sun. So they did. They placed a bag of hot Cheetos and a Capri Sun gently into the bottom tray. Immediately, the machine growled. Yes, growled. Like a cat in a fax machine had a baby. Nothing works. Florida water? Fail. Priest photo? No response. Hot Cheetos and a Capri Sun? Just made it angrier. Then Ashley yells, "Wait, what if we unplug it?" Denisha, "Girl, it's not plugged in." Both. Oh no. They decided to make one final offering, the ultimate snack combo. A Hot Pocket and a bottle of Baja Blast. Ashley slides the food across the floor like it's a hostage negotiation. Denisha whispers, "In the name of all that is crunchy." The vending machine shakes violently. The keypad lights up again, this time spelling. Trade accepted. And the lights go out. For 10 full seconds, it's pitch black. Then poof, everything comes back on. The vending machine looks normal. Still dusty, still full, no growls, no bugle assaults. Ashley, did it work? Denisha, did we just DoorDash a demon into retirement? They slowly approach it. Ashley cautiously presses E4 again. This time, it just drops a bag of trail mix. Just trail mix. No screams, no curses, no ketchup cassette tapes. They exhale in relief. Denisha, let's go before it changes its mind. Ashley, yeah, no more haunted appliances for at least 72 hours. But wait. That night, back at Ashley's house, she's editing the audio they recorded. Static, then a voice, low and distorted. That wasn't enough. Ashley freezes, rewinds, same voice, louder. I'm not done. Then the screen glitches. Her desktop background changes to a blurry security cam image of her standing at the vending machine, and next to her, a tall, shadowy figure in a hoodie holding a bag of combos. So what is this? Gerald and Chad?
No. Gerald. What was our hot tub guy's name?
Reg Ronald? I don't know why I want to say Reginald. That's not even that's not a name.
It's from the vampire. My roommate is a vampire.
Oh, yeah, it is. No, it's I think it's Ronald.
I thought it was something close to Gerald. Gary?
Gary. Gary, buddy. We didn't forget about ya.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have words for that one. Okay, so my next and final ChatGPT one is called Call Dropped.
Called what?
Called Call Drop.
Call drop. All I heard was called rot, and I was like, what? Call dropped.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Call Dropped. Season 1, Episode 20. Written by ChatGPT. Blame it, not us.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a chill night. Ashley had her editing snacks lined up. Hot Cheetos, gummy worms, and that cursed vanilla cold brew that she keeps drinking even though it makes her see through time. Denisha was...
Ain't that the damn truth?
do you like hot Cheetos?
I do.
Ew.
Excuse the fuck out of me.
I don't like Cheetos, to be fair, though, so I'm not...
Yeah, I like hot Cheetos, but I was more talking about the
cold
coffee
brew,
that
yeah.
makes you see through time. Accurate.
Yes. Denisha was curled up on the couch, half asleep, a cozy blanket over her legs, and a cat aggressively purring on her chest, like a demonic paperweight. Also true.
Yeah.
Literally, like right before you came over, Chewy was laying on my chest.
Oh.
They were finishing up episode 19 with plans to record the finale the next day.
Ooh.
Then the lights flickered. Okay, power surge or ghost? Ashley asked. Honestly, it could be both, Denisha said, already reaching for her EMF reader, like this was just a Wednesday night behavior. Spoiler alert. It was. Her phone buzzed. No notification, just the screen glowing with one word. Answer. Ashley's laptop made a sound no MacBook should ever make, like a dial-up modem being strangled.
Oh my god.
On screen, her audio software glitched and then reopened to a blank project titled The Final Episode, due tonight. But I didn't title, she started to say before her AirPods jumped off the desk and hovered in midair. Suddenly, both of their phones rang just once. Old school ringtone, like a landline with cobwebs. The caller ID just said Afterlife Hotline HQ, extension 666.
Oh no.
Did you set up a fake number for the finale promo? Nisha asked. Ashley shook her head, staring at her phone. I thought you did. They answered and instantly regretted it.
Oh no.
A distorted voice came through, half static, half ASMR nightmare. Congratulations, operators. You have reached Tier 13 clearance. You are now authorized to receive forbidden call logs. Static. Then a scream. Then a kazoo version of Tubular Bells. You know, the Exorcist theme song.
Tubular bells. I was so confused at what you were trying to say.
Yeah.
Balls.
Then silence. Denisha squinted. Did we just get promoted? Ashley stared into the middle distance. I think a demon just gave us tenure.
Oh, jeez.
The call ended, and that's when the real weirdness started. Their podcast hosting site glitched. It uploaded 3 new files they hadn't recorded.
Uh-oh.
Scheduled for release at 3:33 a.m. The cover art was unsettling, to say the least. It was their usual logo, but the phone receiver had a mouth with teeth, and it was smiling.
Ew.
The episode titles were The Static Between the Worlds, Voicemail from the Void, and Hold Music from Hell, featuring Lilith, Queen of Static.
Oh, shit.
Ashley pressed play. The audio was flawless, their voices perfectly mixed. No uhs, no awkward laughter, sound effects, ambient music, demonic reverb. It was the kind of production value that would cost thousands.
I'm working on it, okay?
And then the guest voice chimed in.
Oh, shit.
Hi, babes. It's your girl, Lilith, she said with a sultry, smoky voice in a Jersey accent and an undeniable energy of someone who's hexed a DJ. I'm not trying a Jersey accent. No, I'm not trying a Jersey accent. I died in 1903, but I still run the switchboard in hell. Let's talk ghosting, emotionally and supernaturally. Denisha blinked. Did we interview a demon and not remember it? Wouldn't be the first time, Ashley muttered. They decided to let it ride. The episodes dropped at 3:33 a.m. as scheduled. Within minutes, their podcast downloads exploded. trending on TikTok, DM requests from BuzzFeed Unsolved. Their email inbox overflowed with sponsorships, haunted candle brands, graveyard dating apps, and even a limited edition Spirit Halloween x Afterlife Hotline collab. Manifest that shit.
This is me manifesting.
I figured. Then came the reports. Listeners said weird things started happening when they would play the new episodes. Their smart home devices spoke in reverse Latin. Siri kept saying, "She's listening now," and wouldn't elaborate. One woman's Alexa ordered a 50-pound bag of salt and emailed her priest. And every time...
Damn.
And every time someone tried to leave a 1-star review, their app would crash and their lights would dim. One guy said his AirPods melted. Another found their Spotify playlist replaced with Gregorian chants and the Scream soundtrack mashed together. Oh, God.
I don't even want to know what Gregorian chant sounds like. I'm sure it sounds... I almost said smells. I'm sure it sounds
I have no idea.
weird.
I've
I'm not
never
going to
looked
look it up.
One listener emailed, "Hey, love the show. Big fan. But since the last episode, my Roomba's only vacuuming in pentagrams and my cat keeps walking backwards. Should I be worried?"
Yes, be very worried.
In the middle of all this chaos, Ashley got a voicemail from an unknown number. It was her own voice, whispering, "Don't upload the finale. She's not done editing it yet." "Who's she?" she asked. The answer came instantly. Her laptop turned on by itself. On screen, a live video feed of them in the room right now from above. The camera slowly panned, and in the upper corner of the room, just barely visible in the shadows, was a woman in a vintage operator headset, smiling. Lilith. They tried deleting the files. It didn't work. They tried exercising the mics. They caught fire. They prayed. Nothing. They saged the studio. Also, yay, we have a studio. The
Yay.
sage turned black and whispered, "Cute try." Eventually, they gave up and made a deal. Keep podcasting, keep entertaining, and Lilith would keep editing. And honestly, the audio's never sounded better. And then it ends with, "Press 9 to pledge your soul to Patreon. Press 666 to downgrade to Demon Queen Pro. Operators are standing by forever."
Jeez. I mean, if Lilith wants to help edit, that's completely fine with us. Sheesh. We just need Lilith as a producer. This next one is the Roomba that cleansed souls, and also the living room. So here's how it went down. Ashley and Denisha were house sitting for a friend. Normal stuff. Watch the plants, feed the cat, don't let demons in through the back door. Typical stuff. But then there was one instruction that stood out on the note left on the fridge. Do not touch the Roomba. Naturally, they immediately decided that they had to touch the Roomba.
As we would. As we would.
Ashley, I mean, what's the worst it could do? Run over a sock? Denisha, girl, it's literally a haunted hockey puck with Bluetooth. I'm not trusting anything with wheels and a personality. First red flag, the Roomba was already out. Just sitting in the middle of the living room. Not docked, not charging, not moving. Just waiting. Ashley, maybe it's motion activated? Denisha, maybe it's possessed by the spirit of a janitor who died mid-shift? Ashley steps closer. The Roomba lights up. Beep. Voice. Cleaning your conscience. Ashley, did it just threaten me with therapy? Then it starts moving, but not in a straight line. It's circling Ashley's feet. Faster and faster, like a robotic summoning circle. Denisha, okay, nope. I've seen this movie. It ends with someone being vacuumed into the 5th dimension. They try to stop it. Ashley reaches down to press the button. The Roomba growls. Yes, growls. Then it zips across the floor and bumps into the wall, on purpose, knocking a framed photo to the ground. The glass shatters. Inside the frame, not a photo, a piece of paper. It just says, "It knows." Ashley, knows what? My Amazon order history? Denisha, if it starts playing Gregorian chants, I'm jumping out a window. They attempt to perform a cleansing. Sage blows it away with the fan mode. Salt circle, Roomba vacuums it up. Holy water, it spins in it like it's a ritual bath. Finally, Denisha tries commanding it like a demon. In the name of the broom, the mop, and the Swiffer spirit, leave this house. The Roomba pauses, spins, then says, mop mode activated. Desperate, Ashley connects it to the Roomba app. She renames the device. Do not possess. It renames itself back. You clean, you die. At this point, it's chasing them around the house, bumping chairs, playing distorted audio that sounds like Britney Spears played backwards over vacuum noises. Finally, Denisha gets an idea. Let's lure it outside. Ashley, how? We can't yell, treat, like it's a haunted Roomba puppy. Denisha, no, but we can trick it with dirt. They dump a bag of potting soil in the front yard. The Roomba pauses, spins, beelines for it. As soon as it crosses the threshold, boom, Ashley slams the door. Denisha tosses a salt ring on the welcome mat. They stare through the peephole. The Roomba is just sitting in the dirt, vibrating. Then it stops, shuts down, and starts smoking? Their friend comes home and says, oh yeah, forgot to mention, the Roomba's been weird since we moved in. Pretty sure it ate my grandma's ghost. Ashley and Denisha just nod, smiling, traumatized, holding holy water like pepper spray. They vowed never to trust anything that cleans itself again. No Roombas, no smart vacuums, no self-cleaning ovens. Because once a Roomba knows your sins, it never forgets.
Jesus. Also, it keeps coming up, so I looked it up. A Gregorian chant is a style of monophobic, unaccompanied sacred music in Latin and occasionally Greek used in the Roman Catholic Church. It's characterized by its melody and rhythm and is often sung by monks or other religious individuals.
Interesting.
So, not creepy, but...
Unless we listen to it, it's probably going to sound creepy.
Well, yeah. I'm not listening to it at all.
Me neither.
So, this is my first Reddit story that I'm going to read.
Yay.
I found this from our Reddit horror stories.
Okay.
And I didn't copy the username because I forgot. I'm a bad noodle. I used to live in this old apartment once. The place I lived when I was younger was actually a large house that had been split into 2 separate units. I had a kitchen, living room, and a bedroom, and a bathroom. There was also a staircase leading down to a small entryway and a door. I assumed that the other side of the house was laid out the same, but I never knew who lived there. I stayed in that apartment for a few months. It was cheap and close to my work, and aside from that, nothing was particularly special about it. During the first month, nothing strange happened. I was usually working a lot, and when I was home, everything seemed pretty normal. But then, I started noticing something odd. I would wake up in the middle of the night for no clear reason. At first, I only remembered waking up and then falling right back asleep. One time, I thought I heard a noise, but once I was awake, I heard nothing else. I sat up in bed and listened carefully. Everything was silent. Eventually, I just fell back asleep. It struck me as strange because I usually sleep very deeply and never woke up during the night. These were the kind of moments I often barely remembered the next day. But after about a week, the third time I woke up in the middle of the night, I was certain I heard something. It was genuinely odd. I sat up and listened closely, but there was no more sound. I couldn't tell if I heard it in a dream or while I was awake. Everything felt strange, but nothing else happened, and I eventually drifted off again. I couldn't figure out why I kept waking up or what was causing it. Then, one night, it happened again. This time, I remember, and I didn't hear anything at first. I just suddenly woke up, fully alert. I didn't sit up. I just turned over to face the other side of the room. My room was dark, and as I looked in that direction, I heard a faint creaking sound. It sounded like my door in my bedroom was slowly opening. I looked that way and saw it really was opening. Then, suddenly, a man stepped inside. I couldn't make out many details. It was too dark. He took one step into the room and then stopped. I was frozen with fear. It was so dark, I didn't even know if he could tell that I was awake. Then, he pulled out what looked like a camera and took a photo of me.
What the hell?
After that, he stepped back behind the door and into the hallway. I couldn't believe what had just happened. Then I heard a faint creaking from the hallway, like a door being opened and closed. Very soft, but noticeable. And then again, silence. I sat there in bed for at least 10 to 20 minutes, not hearing a thing. I don't know if I was being robbed or if someone was still inside. But since it stayed quiet for so long, I finally got up. I walked around my bedroom. Still no sound. And then, slowly, I checked the rest of the apartment. It wasn't a big place, so it didn't take long to realize that the man was gone. But when I reached the end of the hallway, upstairs, past my bedroom, across from a closet, I noticed something. There was a door that connected to the neighbor's unit. I had been told that the store wasn't used and it was always locked. In fact, there was a small table and lamp placed in front of it. The door had even been painted the same colors as the wall, so it was hard to notice. But I realized the man must have come through there. It must not have been locked from the other side. After that night, I couldn't sleep at all. I stayed up until morning. As soon as it was light, I contacted the building management. I told them everything that had happened and immediately began looking for another apartment. I stayed with a friend for a few nights. Long story short, it turned out that there was a man living in the neighboring unit, and he was eventually caught. Thankfully, he never got into my apartment again.
So it was an actual person.
It was an actual person. The nights I kept waking up were probably the times that he was sneaking back into his place. Maybe when he was closing that hidden door. Seeing him in my room was the most terrifying moment of my life, and I will never forget it.
Especially realizing that it's an actual
Person?
That's gross. I don't like it. That's worse than paranormal stuff.
To be fair, I didn't read it all the way through, and I did not realize that it was not paranormal.
I mean, it's still spooky.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah, not a fan.
No. All right. So this one is called Little Fairies or Ghost Children.
Oh, no.
This is from Real Ghost Stories community on Reddit, and it is from Applebee Love 34. When I was about 8 or 9 years old, I was laying in my bed at night. My sisters were asleep in the next room, and my parents were in another room, and all of us close in proximity. I really don't know what time of night it was. Maybe it was even almost early morning. But I was laying with my head straight on the pillow, back of the head on the pillow, face staring up at the ceiling, just when I heard a tiny voice in my right ear that sounded like a fairy elf child make the noise that all kids make when you are trying to make a fart noise. Then, directly after that, I heard, "Psst." That was him. Really loud right above me. And then following that was some giggling. I was so scared that I pulled the covers over my chin, did not even want to look to the right for fear that someone was standing there. I started to call out for my mom, but she never came. I think they were fast asleep. I just remember thinking if I close my eyes, it'll go away. Nothing happened after that. And honestly, I remember telling my sisters whom did believe me because they have their own ghost stories. But this was about the only thing I ever really experienced as a kid. My sisters were the ones that would see and hear things most of the time. Not sure why I could not. Any thoughts on that? But yes, this is my story. I don't tell a lot of people because it's such a strange story that happened in a span of like 5 seconds. And since then, I have never heard anything or seen anything again. If anyone has a similar story, I would love to hear it. Maybe I won't feel alone on the subject. Thanks for sticking around if you made it this far. That's weird.
Yeah, no. Like the... that was...
it reminds me of like pixies or like little... I don't know, like some like little creature that would just be trying to like be like.
Well, that's like if you think about it in Peter Pan, like Tinkerbell was kind of a.
Yeah.
She was a little
She was a little
turd.
stinker. Interesting.
So this one is also from our horror stories. Again. Cat. Sorry. Something is down here. I don't even know how to start this. I'm shaking so hard I can barely type. If anyone reads this, you can believe me or not. I work for a private marine research company. You wouldn't know the name. We specialize in deep sea exploration, building underwater habitats, monitoring tectonic activity, studying ecosystems in places no human was ever supposed to reach. Last year, they finished installing a new station about 12,000 feet down the Pacific. Only a handful of us were assigned to live and work here for 6-month shifts. Everything was fine for a while, until today. Around 2:14 a.m. station time, the internal alarms went off. Power fluctuations, reactor instability, I don't know what happened. Standard protocol says to suit up and prep for evacuation, but communications were completely shut down. Something cut the power. No signals to the surface. No emergency lights, just sirens and that low, sick hum from the reactor core. Then the cameras started to black out. One by one, every external feed cut to static. Maintenance thought it was a short circuit. They sent McAllister out to do a manual inspection over with a rover. He never came back. The last thing we heard from him was a broken transmission. He was screaming about something moving, but it wasn't another submersible, it wasn't another diver, and it wasn't anything mechanical. He said it was organic. He said it was huge. After that, we heard all of these horrible noises, scraping, grinding, vibrations so deep they made our teeth hurt.
Ooh.
The entire station started to sway. I felt like something was wrapping around us. I can't even describe what I saw next. Out of the observation dome, right before the emergency shutters slammed down, I swear to God, there was an eye. Enormous, black, glassy, and pressed against the dome like it was looking at us. No fish, no whale, no squid, nothing like anything I had ever seen before, or that anyone has even documented. It's still out there. The reactor's about to blow from the damage. I can hear the walls groaning. I can hear it moving, scraping, almost like it's trying to get inside. If anyone reads this, stay away from the deep. There are things down here that we were never meant to see. We broke into their world, and now we're paying for it. I don't know if I'll make it. All my coworkers are equally panicked. I hope this gets published. I hope it reaches someone. I'm scared. This is going to be the last thing I ever write. God, please forgive me for my sin. Oh God, it's getting louder. I'm sorry.
Is this a real story?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was about to say, I hope not. Poor guy. Oh my gosh.
That's creepy.
I don't like that. But the thing is there probably is creatures that big down in the
I'm
ocean.
sure there is. I mean, take a look at the fucking megalodon.
Yeah. Ooh. Isn't there like satellite images or something of like big things in the water that
I
they
think
don't
so,
know what
yeah.
they are? Okay, so this one is lighthearted, but it is a little bit on the wee sad side, but good sad side, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
My deceased dog came to visit in The Sims. I saw this and I thought it was so cute. Yeah, I didn't make that up. Oh, real ghost stories. Sorry. From GFY Prototype. Yeah, I didn't make that up. That's actually what happened around 10 minutes ago. My wife was playing The Sims and I decided to take a break from playing Blades and Sorcery. After around 15 minutes of watching YouTube, my wife calls me over and points at the monitor. I got up from the couch and went to see what was up. My dog passed away around 4 months ago. Him and I were very close. I keep his collar with me as much as I can. When I went to look over at the game, I saw what it was. It was a dog that had similarities to my dog. If it wasn't for the droopy ears the digital one had and the slight misspelling of his name, it would be a perfect match. The dog on the screen's name was Cody, Kodey, one letter off from my actual dog's name, Cody, Kody. The dog rested on the grass, dizzy and sick, and my wife's sim rushes to his aid. It was around this point where her sim just stood there, and Cody barked happily. She wasn't able to do anything, so we restarted the game. We had the liberty of checking the dog's stats. All we really changed was the name and the ears. His traits matched my own dog's. Whenever he got the chance, Cody would rush up to the front door and sniff the grass. It'd take my parents and I forever to get him to come back in. He really liked his naps, and he was a talker. We'd get him to howl sometimes. Those were good memories. When we checked his traits, it matched my dog exactly. Adventurous, couch potato, and vocal. Even down to his bark, it matched his perfectly. The game's been acting pretty weird since then. We've always believed in spirits, but I've never experienced spirits being this direct about their presence. We think it's him saying hi, and I miss him every day. It's so sad, but so sweet. I need Holly to get on it, ma'am. I have Sims. I need your butt to come visit me on Sims.
Holly, Theo, Cairo.
I need all of my babies to come visit me on Sims.
Do you have the cats and dogs?
I don't. Maybe that's why.
Get that.
Yeah. Oh, but that's so sad. I read that and I was just like, no, that's so cute. And it was just a random dog that showed up at their Sims house in the game. And I was like, oh, they even had the same name and everything. I was like, that's so sweet. Yeah.
So my last one is from Paranormal Encounters and is called Something Eerily Comforting Happened While I Was Laying in Bed.
Oh.
So last night, actually very early this morning, I was laying in bed trying to fall asleep. My thoughts meandered to my dad, who passed away in 1994. Currently, I am going through what may end up being a profound, in a positive way, situation. I was feeling deeply and emotionally spiritual about this situation, when all of a sudden, something in my head felt like my dad was telling me, "Be good," my nickname. Automatically, I thought, "I will." My right leg happened to be sticking out from the covers, and a split second after my thought, I felt a distinct sensation come over my toes.
Oh.
It felt like all 5 toes were being gently squeezed together all at once, similar to how it would feel if a giant rubber band was wrapped around them. The feeling lingered for a good 3 to 4 seconds. Not only that, but the sensation was electrical or vibrational, similar to how your wrists feel when the haptics of a smartwatch draws your attention to an incoming notification.
Like a little buzzing.
But this felt slightly stronger and more distinct, and it lasted longer. Immediately thereafter, the most intense chill crawled through my entire leg. I describe it as comforting, in quotes, because it did come out of nowhere and left me frightened in a sense, but not in a scary way, more of a what the fuck was that and who was messing with me kind of way. The fact that the vibration happened immediately after I said, I will, as well as the fact that I was feeling emotional and the spiritual intense leading up to this sensation makes me to believe that my dad was reaching out to me, affirming that he is aware of the profound positive situation I am potentially facing, and he was gently sending me his approval. Either that, or I had a mini seizure in my toes and leg, lol. And for the sake of argument, even if it was a foot seizure after all, I still can't get over the exact timing of it though. What are the odds that I would feel such a distinct sensation at the exact moment I thought I will?
Oh.
And that is a true, like, paranormal encounters.
Oh, I love that. Oh my goodness. I love whenever like loved ones and stuff like that come through and
They get to
communicate.
come through and say something.
Yes. Well, that was it for our ChatGPT stories and some of our Reddit stories that we found, and I hope you guys enjoyed those. However, we do have one last story to tell you that we found off of our community page on Facebook for the area that we live in, and we do have permission from this lady to tell this story, and it was pretty interesting. I'm not going to say the lady's name because I do not think I have permission to say her name, but it does happen at a Goodwill. Thought this was rather cool.
Especially since we frequented this Goodwill.
Yes, like never knew. Now we're going to have to go in there and be like, gusty. So there I was, taking my much needed mom break at my local Goodwill. You know, the kind of break where you pretend you're out running errands, but really just want to browse in peace without hearing, Mom, 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 every 5 seconds. I'm at the checkout counter, feeling pretty good about my haul, when the craziest thing happens. Out of nowhere, a shopping cart shoots out of the cart holder. I mean, this thing didn't just roll a little. It came out like it had somewhere to be and spun dramatically towards the door. Naturally, I'm thinking, what kid just let go of their mom's cart? But when I look up, there's no kid. No mom. No one. My mom radar immediately goes into overdrive. I look around, expecting someone to pop out and claim the cart. But nope, crickets. Just me, my cart, and the checkout girl. And y'all, the cashier doesn't even flinch. She just nods like this happens all the time and says, oh, that's just George. I laugh nervously. Who's George? She shrugs. The ghost. He does that sometimes. Excuse me, what? I'm standing there trying to decide if she's joking or if I've wandered into some haunted thrift store that nobody thought to warn me about, when my husband nudges me and says, look at Smoke. That's our dog, because of course we're those people that bring our dog everywhere. I would be doing the same. Y'all, I look down and Smoke is frozen. No barking, no wagging his tail, just standing there, locked in on the exact spot in front of that cart like someone's there. I'm telling you, my mom instincts went from 0 to 100 real quick. You know that feeling you get when your kid is too quiet in the other room? Multiply that by 10. My stomach was doing flips. Meanwhile, the cashier is just smiling. Don't worry, she says. George only does fun stuff. He's never hurt anybody while I've been here. Oh, fun. Cool. Fun stuff, like scaring the life out of moms trying to have a peaceful Goodwill trip. Yeah. As I walked out, clutching my random finds in my arms. They don't do bags anymore? What? Yeah, they don't do bags anymore. I don't know why they don't.
Reduce plastic.
Yeah, that's true. But what do you do when you bring your own bags in? Are they going to think that you're trying to buy those, or
You probably just let them know that you brought them.
You brought them? Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I look towards... Oh, yeah, that's true. Because when we go to over in the other area, they don't do bags either. But it's been a minute since I've been over to one. I looked toward the cart holder, and I swear I felt something watching me. So naturally, I turned to the empty air and said, bye, George. I'll see you next time. Because let's be real. I've got 10 kids at home. The last thing I need is to get on a ghost's bad side. And you best believe next time I come, I'm saying hello first thing. If George wants to push carts and hang out in Goodwill, I'm not about to ruin his vibe. So now I'm curious, would you be cool with an invisible coworker or customer in this case? Or would you be looking for the nearest exit like me? And so I thought that was so funny. And so we're going to have to go in there and see if we can pick up something with George. That's awesome.
Well, and a lot of people in the comments were like, some of the employees were even being like, yeah.
Yeah, someone said, I worked there a few years ago. George is definitely real. There would be no one in the store after close, and carts would just roll out on their own. One time we found one rolling all the way back near the cookware, but not on the tile, on the carpet. You'd think the friction of the carpet would stop a rolling cart. I mean, I believe in George.
Yeah, I think George is enjoying his time at the Goodwill.
They say he would turn lights on and off randomly. Soap dispenser in the mop closet would just turn on and off. He's just wreaking havoc. I'd be like, okay, what item has been in here the longest and has not gone anywhere?
Yeah.
Because I feel like George is probably connected to an item. And he's just chilling there until, because I was thinking about that. As many items that come through there, like thrift stores would have to be haunted.
You would think so, yeah, absolutely.
Because like a ghost could be haunting a teacup or something, like, or a pair of shoes,
or a vending machine,
Like, oh, be very careful when you bring stuff home. By the way,
thrift stores, flea markets.
Dad used to get on to Mom all the time because she would bring home a lot of antiques and thrift finds and stuff. And Dad's like, you're going to bring something home one day, because it's just all this random stuff.
Mm-hmm. That is George. This is episode 20.
20.
This is
20.
I mean, we've talked about this for years, and we did it. We're closing out season 1.
That's it. It blows my mind. And I'm very, very proud of us for sticking with it.
Oh, yeah.
And doing the damn thing.
Because we've tried to do things like this before, and they have been...
We go solid for like a good 1 or 2 times, and then we're just like, meh.
I'm tired. This is going on. I don't want to do it today.
And I mean, we still do that, but we actually get the shit done.
Yeah. Well, and that's the difference is whenever in February, whenever things were going down, we would just skip a week. I think we only skipped 1 or 2 weeks. I think there was only 1 week that we skipped. And even if there was a specific day that you and I were going to record and then we didn't, we made up for it in a few days, but we still had the video out on time. I think there's only 1 week we really skipped. Yeah. Which worked out because we wound up having a special anyway on the week of Valentine's Day. So we had 2 episodes come out anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
Speaking
true.
of which, I really want to do a Friday the 13th episode in June.
Yeah, we can do that. We got to figure out what we want to do. But hopefully with this next video, / podcast for listeners or viewers, whatever suits your fancy, hopefully it'll be us going and exploring a place. We're going to start incorporating that, like we said in the last episode. Hopefully going to start going and checking out some abandoned places, some haunted places, doing some little investigations and stuff.
I think it's going to be so much fun. And
Me
I
too.
think with that being said, thank you for listening. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for
sticking around for our first 20 episodes.
Yeah, the incredible
for those of
support
you who are listening and watching.
Who has been insane. Words are hard. I don't know what I'm saying right now. I'm just saying. I'm speaking. If you're interested in your mental health merch, go to
yes.
Own Your
Stigma.
Thank you. I was about to be fight your stigma.
I will put up the website again, and they have all kinds of cool stuff.
You can
definitely
even
check out.
There's some stuff you can customize.
Not this one, but there is ones like this shirt as well. It leaves a blank, and then it says mental health. I want to make one that says podcast and coffee and mental health or something like that. But yeah, they have all kinds of cool stuff. It's ownyourstigma.com. I'll put up the website down here,
and you can use again Ghostline for 15% off your order.
GHOSTLINE.
I was going to try that, but I felt like I was going to fuck it up, so thank you.
You're welcome.
With that being said, I guess, do you have anything else to add?
No. Drink your water, take your meds. Whenever time of day or night that you're listening to this, get your rest. Take care of you.
And
take care of your mind.
Pick up the phone. The afterlife is calling. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for calling the Afterlife Hotline, where the ghosts are chatty and the hosts are, well, questionable at best. Press 1 to replay this episode and question your life choices. Press 2 to summon us back next week. No Ouija board required. Press 3 to hang up, but let's be real, something's probably still listening. That's it for this call, but don't worry. We're like ghosts, we always come back. Until next time, stay spooky, stay weird, and maybe don't answer that strange knock at your door. Goodbye!